People of faith do not have a monopoly on caring for each other. In fact, the work of loving God's people doesn't just happen in a Catholic hospital, a big cathedral, or a faith-based school. But Catholic institutions should be models of excellence in care and willing partners with anyone and everyone who will serve those most in need. When I was 11, I was served by a rural public hospital. I had a collapsed lung, and I had to do a hospital stay on my own. I remember when my mom left the hospital that night to go home to my dad, who was harvesting, and men in the field, and my 3 younger siblings. She asked if I'd be okay, and I said, yeah, I think so. I wanted to be okay. Not an hour later, a nurse came in who knew that I was really not okay. And she didn't know what to do, and I didn't know what to do. But she rubbed my feet so I could fall asleep. I was served by a rural public hospital and a public school. Over my years at high school, I had many teachers who loved me and nurtured my gifts. They read and praised some pretty fledgling, if not awful, attempts at poetry. They corrected my pitch and let me sing anyway. They let me play on the basketball team even when I scored on my own net. They saw my belovedness and helped me to grow my gifts, helped me to see my belovedness even in myself. These amazing people working for secular institutions nurtured the values that I learned and love in my faith community. They taught me about love and universal care and human dignity. When I went to university, I studied arts, English, geography, theater, and then I went on to theology. Coming from a rural Saskatchewan town, the question was always the same, from parents, teachers, friends. What are you going to do with 2 arts degrees? But I was never afraid. There had always been places to serve before. For those who, like me, practice spirituality in a church, we have chosen to follow Jesus. Every day, we are called to serve those in need, anywhere we find them, in any circumstances. We have to do this in secular jobs, in random places that are unexpected, whenever someone calls out for help. It happens in kitchens and backyards, parks and workplaces. It happens when people of faith are at work in the world and when God's people of all faiths are serving the world. So far, my career, after a degree in theology, has been at the service of Catholic institutions. First a diocese, and now Catholic healthcare. Catholic institutions was a whole new world for me. As I've said to school teachers and healthcare professionals, to youth ministers and priests in Catholic settings, you and I get paid to be disciples. It's a great privilege. And we get to do so alongside anyone who shares our values of care and love, compassion and service, faithfulness and human dignity. A faith-based building and history of service is our invitation to take a radical love for each and every person into every corner of the world with anyone who wants to join us. May the legacy of missionary priests and religious women who served so faithfully for so many generations continue as a result of the dedication and faith of new generations of lay people, people who want to make a difference in the lives of others, working alongside any and all of God's people, regardless of the belief systems that gave birth to shared values. And may God bless the work of our human hands, always and everywhere, outstretched with love for all God's people. Amen.